Welcome back. It's Martin Larsen against Mike Fagan in this crucial match. It's a chance for Europe to take the lead here in Ryder Cup 14.
These two met in a singles matchup midway through the first session. Fagan's 238, more than enough to put Larsen's 206 in the shade, and then that final tail end match of session 3 should have been a blue point for Larsen. It ended with red on the board with Fagan again. Martin beat Bill O'Neill towards the end of session 2, and he's on a roll here.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at that score sheet. Pacing 280 if he can strike off. And as Dom just said, Martin is looking pretty hot at the moment. Settling into the Weber tournament. Just relaxing and letting his natural game shine through. And this looks as though it could be a pretty high scoring game. Never underestimate this man though. Mike Fagan knows to win out on the PBA Tour in the States and knows how to win in Europe, and just loves the Weber Cup. And that's 4 strikes in a row. And the stars and stripes are flying over there with Uncle Sam and his friends.
That was a textbook bowl from Fagan. Really beautifully finding the pocket, clipping that head pin and causing that famous chain reaction for the perfect strike. Of course, ball only hits 4 pins on a perfect strike, Cass.
Yes, indeed, Andy. I didn't know if you knew that one. Yeah, the ball ends in the pocket for a perfect strike, hits the 1 and the 3 pin, drives through to the 5, and it should then deflect on to the 9. And everything else is a pin reaction, chain reaction in the back end. Unless you go straight through the head pin and leave a split like like Martin Larsen has just done after building him up so big just before this shot.
The Swede was on 6 in a row there, and it broke early, didn't it?
Yeah, and it's left the 4, 6 and the 7 pin. This is more than likely, unfortunately, to be an open frame, and he doesn't like that. He doesn't like the reaction he got. As you say, he was just hit 5 strokes, and then the last shot has gone a bit gaga.
Needs the power and a break. Not quite. Oh.
No, indeed, there was a pin flying around there, but I'm afraid the sweep came down from the automatic pin spotter, swept it away. So it is an open frame.
8th left open from Martin Larsen. First in this game. Has it come at the worst possible time, just to shift the balance? What can Mike Fagan produce in return here?
Working on 4 in a row, the king of swing, looking for a 5th.
No.
Ooh, dear, oh dear.
Not quite.
Yeah, but you would think if he's gone 4 strikes in a row, he's totally lined up, and then a shot like that, it's just so wayward. Just makes the head pin, breaks nothing up and leaves the 2 and the 8.
Well, if he can make this spare, he's on course just to shade it.
Yeah, that's if they all strike out, but he's got to make this spare first of all. The 8 pin is the problem pin, the one at the back behind the 2. Got to get a ball hooking in round that head pin, that front pin, and carry the back one just like that. No, that was a good spare. That keeps him just in front as the maximum scores go.
Yeah, the spare cleanly made there by Mike Fagan. It's his first spare since frame 3 of this match. Penultimate match of the 4th session. Doubles to come. And Stuart Williams will be thankful for that. He's been sat on his backside since the Baker.
Larsen's really got to strike and then put another one in with it to make 2 in a row, but he can't do it.
It's all going a little bit wrong here for Martin Larsen in the business end of this singles.
Again, an overreaction leaves the 3, 6 and the 10 pin standing. Can only be a spare, but it's concerning that his strike ball has just gone a little bit haywire for the last 2 frames.
Deal with what's in front of you and make this spare, Martin. Yes! But Mike has this match in his hands now. Mike Fagan of the United States, winner of 4 PBA Tour titles. He's won in Europe too.
Yeah, he's got 13 pins to play with. There's a lead. It's a foundation frame for the King of Swing. Just needs to get this one right, set himself up for victory in the 10th. Big ball for the American.
6th frame of the match for Mike Fagan. Could be enough here for another red point on the board for the United States.
Well, yes, he's certainly set himself up for the victory. Depends what Larsen does now. More importantly, of course, Fagan working on that strike. And Larsen's just got a spare in to count on. So Larsen here really needs to go strike, strike, strike.
One down, 2 to go. Back over to you, Mike.
You know, a couple of shots left in the 10th frame after that strike. So he can go 235 with another pair. He's going to take himself a re-rack here. Not quite happy with the setup of a couple of the pins, maybe. Something that the bowlers are allowed to do. Fresh rack of pins. To put any pressure on Fagan at all, this second ball must be a strike. He's got to get through the 230 barrier. It's gone wide.
Didn't like it at all, did he? He's left 5
dear.
standing and he's thrown this away.
It certainly looks very much like it. Maximum 225, and that's if he can spare this horrible selection of pins. A great big washout there.
And that after resetting them.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, they were off spot, but they're certainly on spot now. The 1, 2, 4, 6, and the 10. Chip that head pin, left-hand side, and can't make it. Dear, oh dear. Disappointing finish there for Martin Larsen, only 223. And Mike Fagan only needs to put a spare on the board, and that will be enough. I say only a spare. I mean, he has to bowl it. If he doesn't make a strike, he's got to leave something that is spareable. So, kind of a bit of pressure on him.
Well, it's not a million miles away from what we saw towards the end of session 3 between these two. Martin had the game in his grasp and the pressure just got to him at the end.
And it's happened again. I can't believe this. Fagan needing a spare for victory. Leaves the 7-10 off of a light pocket hit.
Extraordinary scenes towards the end of this match.
Look at that. The 4's gone around the 7 and the 6 is, well, done nothing to the 10. Dear, oh dear. What a climax to this match. And this is going to turn round to be, if he can spare it, it would be a victory for USA. If he can't, I think it's all over.
But it's the classic, isn't it? It's the classic split, the 7-10, the goalpost, the bedpost, whatever you want to call them.
It's got to be hard.
Fagan do it? Oh, he clipped the outside edge.
Well, it's all over. It's from the jaws of defeat. Larsen has claimed victory, and an unfortunate 7-10 for Mike Fagan in the last frame. A 223, 216 victory. Well done, Martin Larsen. It's good enough.
Phenomenal for Team Europe. They have won 3 matches on the spin. And for the first time since the end of the first match in the 2013 Weber Cup, Europe lead the United States. They are timing this to absolute perfection. We have one more doubles match left in this session before the evening's fun gets underway. And Europe are leading the Weber Cup by 12 points to the United States 11.
Incredible drama at the end of that match. Martin, congratulations, another point for Team Europe. At that crucial moment, the moment with the 7-10 split, there was a kind of wry shake of the head from you.
Well, I mean, we know he hit where he's supposed to hit, and in 99 times of 100 he gets a 9 or a strike, and he left the 7-10 split. And of course we're not going to give the points back, but he did it better than I did in the last frame, and I was luckier, so that's why they called me Lucky Larsen.
That nickname is sticking, Lucky Larsen, I got to tell you. And you shouted over to your fans over there, "We'll take it."
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's momentum comes and goes, and you just got to try to be able to take all the things you can when you have the momentum on your side.
Martin, thanks very much.
Thanks a lot.
Well done, Martin Larsen, who's not won another point for Team Europe. It's one of the strange things about this Weber Cup format. It throws up some strange scenarios on this lane. We'll have more for you next.